Hello everyone, it's Orshi Barkanyi from Oslo Blockchain Cluster. Today I have the pleasure to interview a really good friend of mine from all the way Australia, Chris Williamson, who is the principal of the blockchain advisory firm MB Technology, and he's also an international keynote speaker on blockchain related topics at blockchain events. Hi Chris, thank you for being here with us.
Hi Orshi, it's great to be here with you.
So let's get started. I would like to know, people talk a lot about mainstream adoption of blockchain technology. So what do you see as the major obstacle?
I really don't see any major obstacles in mainstream adoption of blockchain technology. It's happening in businesses, in industries, in companies that you would have heard of and that would experience on a day-to-day basis. The people who are adopting blockchain technology are the legacy industries, the traditional businesses in the world, and it's not the people who set out to disrupt big business by creating blockchain technology solutions through the ICO hype of 2017, 2018. There are plenty of businesses that you use on a day-to-day basis that you might not be aware of. But there are businesses involved in shipping, in logistics, in international financial settlement. There are businesses that affect each and every one of us that are already using decentralized systems, blockchain solutions, and distributed ledger technology.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So what are some ways that blockchain is being used day to day? You mentioned a couple of things, shipping and some other industries. But what would be some of the other mainstream use?
Well, sure. Here in Australia, which is where I am at the moment, the Australian Stock Exchange is in the process of replacing their legacy system, a system called CHESS, with a distributed ledger technology. It's going to decrease the settlement time and increase the efficiency of the way that the Australian Stock Exchange works when buying and selling equities. It's one of those things that people don't usually understand what's happening underneath the car bonnet, underneath the car hood, but it affects you in ways that you don't necessarily understand, but it's happening even without you knowing about it. Mm-hmm. If we look at some other industries, I understand that there has been in the last 2 years quite rapid adoption of a technology that was developed by Maersk Shipping and IBM, a product called TradeLens. It allows transparency of the supply chain, the shipping, logistics that affects a lot of the global trade industry, the consumer industry. It affects everybody in just about everything that we have. The technology products that we're using to communicate with at the moment, I'm sure would have been touched at some point by one of these companies. It allows the people who are participating in this distributed ledger technology to be able to input information and to be able to retrieve information with all of the benefits that come from a blockchain solution. And it's happening at a much faster rate than all of the people who are involved in the cryptocurrency space might be aware of.
You mentioned 2017 and 2018 that saw a range of ICOs with companies planning to use blockchain technology to solve various problems. What do you think? Have any of them achieved any meaningful progress to get blockchain into our lives, or blockchain being just led by traditional businesses? What is your opinion about that?
I certainly think that it is the traditional businesses that are leading the charge when it comes to the technology development and the implementation of blockchain solutions that affect you and I on a daily basis. Having said that, there are some companies that were created in the hype of 2017-18 that have sought to solve real world problems. There's one company in particular, a company called GoChain, that was launched in 2018. They've recently launched a product called GoTrace. GoTrace is a solution for businesses that want to implement supply chain solutions, some of those logistics challenges that I mentioned earlier, in a way that allows those businesses to take advantage of the blockchain benefits, But for those businesses that don't necessarily have the infrastructure in place currently to be able to capitalize on those benefits, GoTrace is a solution that allows them to take their products and apply blockchain solutions to the delivery of those products to their customers. I think that it's companies like that that are looking to solve real problems, practical problems, with solutions that are meaningful and readily available to be applied, that will inevitably become much more of a commonplace in the way that we conduct ourselves.
What about cryptocurrencies? There's still a lot of talk about whether it's going to be the future of the money. What do you think about that?
Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Anybody who has a Twitter account, anybody who's on Telegram, anybody who's on TikTok will be talking about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Terms like altcoin season and the idea of bull and bear markets really do continue to permeate every conversation that I seem to have with people about blockchain. Businesses are interested in distributed ledger technology, but people, retail speculative investors, they're interested in cryptocurrencies. People talk about mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies, and I think that that is something which really will inevitably occur. But in order for that to happen, a currency needs to be convenient to use. It needs to be something that you and I could use on a day-to-day basis to go out, purchase our coffee, to buy our pizza, to go to the grocery store and pay for our fuel. In order for a currency to be effective, it needs to be widely accepted and widely used. It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. If you can't spend it, then people won't want to use it. If people don't want to use it, then companies won't put in place the systems that they need to be able to accept it. If they don't put in place the systems they need to accept it, people won't want to use it. So it really is a situation that is likely to be the status quo for quite some time until we reach a tipping point. And I actually think that that tipping point will probably come, as much as many people in the cryptocurrency space would loathe to hear, I think it will actually come from government. When government makes it available for business to be able to use a cryptocurrency, and it makes it available as a way for them to do business. Businesses and government are probably the two largest components of our economy. And when businesses and government can transact together using cryptocurrencies, I think that that's when businesses will make those payment systems available to consumers. I think that it is unlikely to be led from people adopting Bitcoin wallets. There really hasn't been any meaningful change in the way that I can utilize a cryptocurrency in my day-to-day business. That's something that just doesn't happen. Until my employees are prepared to accept cryptocurrency, I won't be prepared to accept cryptocurrency as a payment for services. The fiat on-ramp, off-ramp is simply too cumbersome and too inefficient at this stage to be practical as a real solution, as a way to displace the current financial system as it stands.
Thank you. I'm wondering, do you think that the current situation and the subsequent financial implications of this coronavirus and what's happening in the world, do you think that's going to have a positive or more of a negative effect on the blockchain technology use and also on the future of cryptocurrency? Do you think it's going to accelerate the adoption or it will slow it down? What do you think?
Absolutely, it will have a positive impact on both blockchain technologies widely and cryptocurrencies. In the blockchain space, as people spend more time working from home, more time interacting with each other electronically, there are going to be more and more reasons that people will be looking for data security, data integrity, and the things that go along with the trust that you can get from a distributed ledger technology, from a blockchain solution. There will, of course, be there'll be other reasons that businesses will push those sort of things as a way to provide a better customer experience, if looking at no other industry than just simply the online shipping industry. The number of people who are, instead of going to their retail store, their physical store to make a purchase, they're having things delivered. More and more people will be interested in having more reliable, more accurate information, and the businesses themselves will be looking for more accurate tracing of their products as they leave their warehouse to go to the fulfillment house, as they go to the courier company, as they reach the customer. These are the sort of things which blockchain technology really comes out into its own. The way that they can be used and applied to these traditional business models is one of the first places that we'll really start to see the adoption on a business side. From the cryptocurrency side, again, as people are transacting more and more online, they will be looking for more efficient ways to transact. Businesses will be looking for ways to reduce the costs that come with people paying for things with their credit card. Consumers will be looking for ways that they can get their funds to their supplier, to the retailer, faster, more cheaply. And I think that cryptocurrencies, for those who are brave enough to step into that front, I think that they will be some of the leaders in getting businesses to consider this as a way that they could reduce their costs and effectively reduce goods for customers, giving them a competitive edge. So yes, I think that coronavirus will have an unintended impact on the way people utilize technology and cryptocurrencies.
Thank you. You touched on a lot of the benefits of cryptocurrency, but is there any risks or disadvantages related to cryptocurrency for those of us who don't know a lot about cryptocurrency?
Absolutely, there are risks. As with everything, there are trade-offs. For the likes of Bitcoin, which I will just use as the example because that's the one that most people have at least heard of. If you lose your account, your wallet, to use the technical term, if you lose your wallet, or if you lose your private key or your access to your wallet, then you have lost the contents of your wallet. If you lose your credit card, if you forget your password with your internet banking, you don't lose your money. Your money, as it stands, is being held by your bank. Your bank is the custodian of your funds. Now, we could have a debate for many hours about what constitutes money, but for the purposes of this conversation, if I can transfer value, either my time for wages, or a property for rent, or simply buying goods and services, that's what I will call money for this purposes. I don't like the idea personally of having such risk that I could have my wealth, my money, my cryptocurrency assets either compromised because I have my private key stolen, or because I'm careless and I lose my access to it. There are ways that you can mitigate those risks, as with everything, but again, those mitigations come with their own risks. I don't have that same sense of insecurity when it comes to my bank. Now, I'm fortunate that I live in Australia and that my banking system is a fairly sophisticated banking system. I can send money quickly. I can access my funds 24/7 for the most part, and I can walk into a bank branch and know that my money will be available for me. Now, if I was in a country that had hyperinflation, or a country that was incredibly corrupt, or didn't have the stable government backing that the Australian banking system does, or the American, or the British, or any of the European countries, or many places in Europe generally, then I wouldn't have that same confidence in the banking system. And so I think that digital technologies, digital currencies, whether they're cryptocurrencies or state-backed, I think that they will begin to propagate through society, through the international financial system, because the trade-offs that they currently have can be mitigated by wider adoption. As more people adopt things, more solutions will come into the space, and those solutions will encourage further adoption.
Thank you so much for clarifying that to us. We are approaching to the end of the interview. I'd like to ask you, what is the next step for you in personally? What are you working on right now?
At the moment, international travel has been somewhat curtailed, and a lot of the advisory services that I was involved in happened in the room. Now, that hasn't stopped everything, but it has slowed things down somewhat in terms of actually getting in front of people and providing them with the advice that I'm engaged to provide. Having said that, there are many projects that we have been involved in as a business that are continuing to evolve in this space and to utilize some of the changes that have been forced upon them because of these restrictions in the way that we've all started to do business with each other, that are changing their business model and building up their blockchain solutions in order to be able to provide a more digital solution to their clients. And that's the sort of thing now where we're helping those businesses who have existing products or traditional businesses that are looking to adopt DLT blockchain, or even providing advice on how to utilize cryptocurrencies as a way to streamline their businesses. That's the sort of space now where we're finding most of the interest coming. And it's an exciting time to now see traditional business, which is where I have my background, become more interested in the way that DLT, blockchain, and cryptocurrencies can be used in the business for good, and not with the negative stigma that has long been placed around the term blockchain and Bitcoin as some scam or Ponzi scheme. The more people that are starting to learn about these technologies as a way that can be used to solve real problems in their business, the better it is that I feel about the future of cryptocurrencies generally, and blockchain technology as a game changer.
It sounds like it's exciting times ahead.
Absolutely.
When it comes to blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Thank you so much, Chris, for being here with us. You guys saw Chris Williamson, an international expert on blockchain technology. He is from Australia, and it was great to have you on our channel at Oslo Blockchain Cluster here in Norway.
It was great to be here. Look forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you. See you guys.
Bye.